Hello, welcome to Promise Resource Network. This is Body, Mind, Spirit, and I am Jane. I'm going to give everyone a moment to tune in. You'll notice on the screen I have the warm line. It's actually there. Anyway, so check this out, y'all. The warm line is a free number that you can call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, if you want a listening ear. If you're like, I just need somebody to talk to without judgment, without them shooting all over me, if you want to talk to someone to share some really good news, even, right? Call the warm line. The number is 833-390-7728. So if you take a screenshot or if you take the number down, it'd be amazing. So I'm gonna pop that on there. Want to say good morning to my mother who's tuning in. Hello. Hopefully it's sun shining where you are. It is not sun shining here, not even a little bit. I got it this morning, and it was one of those mornings that like I had all of these really great intentions to like get up early and to do X, Y, and Z. And so I got up. I woke up, and my body was like, "No, you just need to keep doing the Z's, Jane." But I can't fall back asleep. So anyway, so I did some of the X, Y's, and Z's this morning. Um, and then the rain started coming down like in sheets. And I was like, it's a Monday with a lot of rain. Yeah, this is great. But that's okay. Because something that I want to talk about today, I'm sure it feels like wonky. Um, Something that I want to talk about today is stillness. Because I don't think that we as a culture embrace stillness at all. And I don't know about you all, but like the stillness of the mind, that's always the practice for me, because even if I allow myself to just sit for a moment or whatever, my brain is still very, very active. So getting that mindfulness practice, that like mind control, is actually a thing. Oh, it is sunny and beautiful up in Indiana. I am so happy to hear that. Good morning, Marv. I'm happy you're here. How are you today? How are y'all feeling? How are you feeling? Are you feeling like high energy, medium energy, or low energy? I'm just curious. And while hopefully you share, I'm going to play a little tune on the xylophone so we can connect. Boop. So yeah, how's your energy? You feeling high energy, medium energy, low energy? That's the question. That actually upped my energy a little bit, y'all. I needed that. No. So if you ever need me to play a little xylophone action, just let me know. I gotcha. At least on this day while I'm here. So we've got medium energy. Good morning, Jay. How are you? How's your energy? So we've got medium energy, low energy, medium energy, low energy. Good morning, Kim. Good morning, Travis. Yeah, right. I'm feeling that. I am feeling that kind of like low energy, medium energy. I definitely am not feeling high energy today. Um, we set our intentions today here, and the top intentions we share it. And my top intention today was to be to not like my intention today is to just be open to seeing what happens without me having to decide anything. That was my top intention today. which felt pretty good actually to speak that out loud. Let's see, Mama Jane shares that my mind has high energy, the body energy that needs to catch up. Ooh, that's interesting. Why does your body energy need to catch up with the high energy of the mind? Or does the mind energy need to balance to come down to kind of still itself? So those of you that shared that you have low energy today, is it low energy in your body? Is it low energy in your mind? Is your just energy, your spirit energy, like that part of you, is it that part that's feeling low? I'm curious. My energy today feels kind of like mud. My energy feels like mud today. Not a bad thing. Just feels like I could just stop. I could just stop and lay down on the sofa, which would be really interesting to do this laying down. Good morning, Allison. Allison, I'm asking, how's your energy today? High, medium, or low? And if you've already answered, wherever your energy is, most people are saying low and medium. Is it your body energy, your mind energy, and or your spirit energy that's feeling on that low or medium side? Ooh, a night of restlessness. That would definitely lead to a tired body. Sometimes that leaves my mind feeling really tired. When I just don't sleep, my mind is like, can't think straight. Can't, what, no, yes. That's sometimes what happens when I don't get that like night of rest. And I'm finding that, so I find that even, Ariel says low energy in the hospital and not as the doctor. I hope you're okay. I know you're okay and that you will be okay. I know this. And I hope that you're becoming weller and weller by the moment. But for real. Because that sucks. When I think about hospitals, like talk about like a not still place. There's always so much going on. The beeping and the this and the so much going on. It's like all you really need to do if you're in the hospital is rest. It's really not okay. Travis says mud is the perfect way to describe it. Right. Says if my energy were flowing, a flowing river, it would definitely be flowing with a thick mud today. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's just that it feels like this slow moving energy. Like if someone dropped something and I had to catch it, I think I would just watch it fall and be like, oops, I was too late. Allison says that body energy is low and the mind always active. I see it as metabolism. That's funny. That's pretty good. Yeah, like I feel like most of us have most of us like human, right? Most of us humans have this challenge with getting the mind to be still, getting the mind to just pause and to be open. And I think oftentimes it's like, my body's going, my body's going, my body's going. And it kind of takes away from all of the busyness of my mind. And then when my body becomes still, right, whether it's through just tired, or I overexerted myself, or I'm injured, or it was ordered that I need to physically rest, that's when it opens up all of like the windows of my mind to let the wind rush in and make the thoughts feel like they're coming, like they're all just all over the place, So I want to talk about how we can create like an intentional stillness, but not one that feels like mud, not one that feels like, but one that just feels clear so that that river that's flowing, like Travis mentioned, is a river, that the river can feel like it is flowing, that it's not like stuck and stagnant and muddy, or that it's this raging river. Although both have their places. But I want the river of me, the river of my mind, the river of my life, my energy. Like I want it to flow pretty steady. Like that's kind of what I want. So you got to find balance around this. Charles is here. Good morning. He said, LOL, mug, you've got no idea. Right? Jay says, my energy is up speed. Ooh, tell me about that. What does up speed mean, Jay? Is it Jay or Jai? I think it's Jay. And also makes me think of the chants that are like, Jai, it's like, yay. Anyway. I went to a Habitual Roots meditation. So Habitual Roots is another nonprofit that I work with and that I really support. If you don't know them, I highly encourage checking them out. And so on Sunday mornings, they have a donation-based, excuse me, guided meditation. And so yesterday I attended, and the person leading it yesterday is Nikki. So Nikki was sharing. The point was it was around this stillness and allowing ourselves, giving ourselves permission to be still. And I really enjoyed that stillness for that hour. Like I did. And then the rest of the day it was kind of like, well, now what do I do? And then wait, let me enjoy this. And it was a really great day, and I enjoyed the balance after finding that initial stillness first thing in the morning. So I kind of want to play in that realm today. Jay says, I'm full of life. I quit smoking cigarettes. Oh my gosh, congratulations. Cigarettes are so funky. I used to smoke a whole bunch of them for many years. Ugh. I remember when I quit smoking, everything tasted so good. I was like, what is this flavor? And someone was like, it's food. I was like, oh my gosh, like everything tasted so much more. It was so good. It was so nice to be able to breathe bigger, fuller breaths. I had smoked for so long that when I did quit, it was really interesting. I had, after I quit, I started coughing. Like, and I think it was my lungs were like, get that shit out of here. It was like, finally stop putting all of this tar and smoke in here. Now I can breathe in that fresh oxygen. The big full lungs of the air were able to like clear out all the muck. And I remember coughing up some funk. Ugh. But I was really happy. So congratulations. I'm really happy for you. For real. Keep it up, Buttercup. You can do it. I know you can. We all can, right? So just reflecting back. You can do it and stay doing it. If you want. Oh, that's so awesome. So here's a question. How do you all feel when your body is still? When you don't move all around? I would like to know. How do you feel when your body is still? And I'll share how I feel when my body is still. Well, hopefully you respond and share if you want. When my body is still, I have thoughts that come up around guilt, like I should be doing something else. I realize that my body is a little bit more tense than I would like it to be because it takes me a while to actually start to relax and like unwind my physical body. Even when I am standing doing anything, I tend to be moving around a lot, and I'm moving here, I'm moving there, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and my body is always going. For me to find stillness in my body, it takes like intention and like a commitment. And I become very aware of my thoughts when my body is still. So how do you feel when your body is still? Do you let yourself be still? Do you feel good about it? Like, yes, I love being still. Or you like me and maybe a bunch of other people that feel like you should be doing something. Well, the house still needs to be clean. Well, you really do need to go to the grocery store. That pile of laundry isn't going to fold itself. Like, my mind goes there, and then my body's like, fine, I'll do it. So I'm curious, how does your body feel when you are still? Allison says I unlocked about an octave of higher notes and singing. Ooh, cigarettes rob your upper range. They do. Oh, that's such a great reflection and reminder. When we stop smoking cigarettes, y'all, our voice can change. And when we sing, like for real, we can get higher, we can get more expansive. And it's interesting, talking about cigarettes, because I remember smoking, and just the habit, right? The habit of like light the cigarette, do the thing, do like, there was this like, that was me flicking it out the window before I understood that it was litter. For some reason, my mind said that cigarette butts weren't litter. This was back in the day. I wouldn't do that anyway. But there was this habit. It was almost like I'm allowed to be still when I smoke my cigarettes, right? I would go take my smoke break at work, and that would give me a time to take a friggin' break. Just to like sit, just to sit. But I still had to be doing something. So it was almost like that repetitive movement of smoking the cigarette, packing the cigarette pack and lighting it up and doing all of the things, that I still wasn't in stillness. Like, I still had to be doing something as the excuse to be still. Right? Charles says, when I'm still, my body feels stiff, especially when it starts to move again. I have no guilt from being still, though. Good, I'm so glad you don't have guilt around it. Yeah, that's another thing. How many of y'all feel stiff after you've been still for a while? That sucks. It sucks when you're like, oh, you know what? I'm taking a break. I'm leaning back. I'm taking a break. And you're like, oh, God, this feels so good. And then you go to get up and you're like, oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no, God. Like, that sucks. That sucks. I understand. I dropped my stick. I understand that. That sucks. It makes you not want to be still. And it makes me want to just kind of let me just keep on moving. I'm just gonna, if I just sit like this is my stillness. Then when I get up, I'm still gonna be able to move and not have that like discomfort, right? Ariel says, I feel a sense of presence and gratitude. When I tune out the external world, I fall in love with the inner one. Yes, oftentimes that I'm not laughing at you. I was laughing at what I just saw my mom. Right. Yeah, when I can be still enough, I can start to recognize my thoughts, right? When I start to recognize my thoughts, then I can start to feel present. Because for me, oftentimes I can feel more present when I'm in movement. Sometimes if I'm still, I am way deep in the past, or I'm super far out in the future when I'm still. But if I'm moving, or if I'm walking, right, if I'm on a hike, I am ever present. And then I start to feel this presence, and then I start to feel the inner landscape that is just like this outer landscape. So it's interesting, Ariel, that you can feel, and I love that you can. I'm like in awe and wish I could too, feel that sense of presence and gratitude, tuning out the external world when I am in stillness physically. So see, yeah, Marv, Mama Jane, y'all are feeling that, right? That like, oh, yeah, I stop moving, and then when I start moving again, everything is stiff. So that leads me to, it's a perfect little bridge to start talking about stillness of the mind. Because, so if you've ever done yoga, right, there's so much to it. when you do the yoga, the asana, the movement, you are starting off with like warming up the body, right? Mud yawn, lame. Anyway, you start warming up the body slowly, and then you start getting into the flow of it. And then you get to the end of the flow and you lay down for shavasana or sit in meditation. Like that's what the asana is actually designed for. It's to prepare the body for meditation. It's to prepare the body for stillness, right? So it's taking the body and moving it in all directions, every which way you go, so that it is comfortable to be still, right? It's almost like you got to take this rubber band and kind of like stretch it out and move it around and all that stuff for you to like just like let it go and just be still for a little bit. That's kind of how the body is, right? It's like when I used to run a lot, I would get up and I'd warm up by burpees or whatever, and I'd go for a really long run. And I learned really early on in the running game that if I just stopped running, then when I got up again, it felt like I had been beaten with like sticks. It hurt. But if I finished the run and I walked afterward, and then if I did some stretches, just some like hamstring stuff, quad stuff, some side stuff, little chest openers, I felt better. So that when I did sit down, I could get back up and not be in agony. So I feel like to find stillness in the body, to find stillness anywhere. I started off at the top of the hour talking about how it's a practice. Like we can just be still, but man, it's a lot more work. It's actually a lot more work just to like shut it down. Sometimes we get to prepare ourselves for that. Open up the space, create the space to be still. So how can we create a place of stillness for our bodies that feels good? So we don't have the guilt, or we don't have the thoughts of, well, I really need to be doing these other things, or without the fear of like, oh crap, basket, this is going to hurt when I stand back up. Or FOMO, right? Like you ever sit down and you're like, I'm taking a break. I'm taking the day off. I'm taking the day off. I'm propping my feet up. I'm not going to move at all. And you think about all the other things that are happening, and you're like, what if I miss out on this or that? So the major case of the FOMOs pop on in, and you get up and you start doing all the things because you don't want to miss out. Maybe you don't want to miss out on life, but maybe you don't want to miss out on the party or this opportunity, or you just don't want to miss out. So you're always going, almost like always searching for the next thing. At that point, we're not giving our bodies time to just be in stillness, right? Not sleep, totally different. Aaron talks about rest so often, how rest is so important for our bodies, our minds, and our spirit. Letting our body be still, one, is medicine. Two, I feel we get to prepare for that. So even yesterday before the meditation, we all did like a stretch. Whenever I lead meditations, 9 times out of 10, we're going to do some kind of movement prior. We're going to get into they call it getting into the body. I call it loosening the body up, like shaking off whatever position it had been in so that it can be in a new one, so that the mind has comfort, a comfortable place to be still. Because when our mind is still, that's a whole other ball game, which I want to start talking about. Good morning, Kimberly. How are you doing? Kim, I'm wondering, how's your energy today? High, medium, or low? Body, mind, and or spirit. Good morning, Darlene is here. Oh, look, everybody's popping on. It's so fun. Happy Monday. Happy to see you all on here with me. Truly, I am. My voice is, why do I do that? Anyway. So I want to talk about stillness of the mind. I feel like stillness of the body, it's a hit or miss. Stillness of the mind. Hey, Sarah, Catherine is up on here. Look at y'all. I like it. Yeah, let's talk about stillness of the mind. Like, okay, here's a question. If you haven't meditated, whether you are a meditator or you're not a tater at all, if you haven't done that, energy and speed wise, where is your mind? Is it like super high racing, mind thoughts all the time? Do you feel like your mind thoughts are pretty present? You know, like, you can be the witness. Or your mind thoughts really low, like, wait, what? I wasn't here. I was literally staring out the window without any thoughts. So just in awareness, what energy speed is your brain normally running on? You normally a high brain function, not high function, but like fast thoughts, medium speed thoughts, or low speed thoughts? I'm very curious. Mine used to be super duper high speed, like really high speed, to the point where I would say things like, the thoughts are coming in too fast and I can't really get them all at the same time to even talk right now. And I used to talk really fast. Even the way I would speak would be super duper 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 fast. And then I moved to the South where everything moved a lot slower. So it was really supportive of me slowing down my brain function. It was needed. So Marv says his brain, his mind speed is slow and relaxing. Ooh, that feels nice. Because then there's like slow thoughts that are relaxing, like slow speed of thoughts that are relaxing, to where you're just in this trust, right? You're like, I know the answers are coming. Oh, here they are, right there. There they go. And there's this relaxed state to it. And then there's also that slow state, right? Of that, wait, what? Wait, what's happening? And you feel like you're being left out, right? So, and it'll be like this for all of them. There's a way that it will feel good or not feel good. That's why I think it's really great to have this awareness to ask ourselves, like, are my mind thoughts, are they really fast and going and changing all the time? I'm always thinking about something new to do, something to create. What did I do? What do I do? Did I do? Oh, look, I went to the bathroom. I mean, like, are your thoughts all over like that? Or are they more slow? Or are they just kind of Goldilocks kind of speed? Ariel says, I truly have an unquiet mind, particularly at night. That's when my mind used to be really loud. It's a great time. Psych. It's also Vata time, right? Like after it gets so late, then it's like all the thoughts are going to come flooding in because it's Vata clock. If you study Ayurveda, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, and if our mind thoughts are racing, right, especially right before we go to bed, sleep feels a lot more restless. Our body doesn't know how to actually relax. If my mind is going the mile a minute, right? What I did do today, what I need to do tomorrow, what am I thinking now? Oh, I need to stop thinking, but what if I do this tomorrow? And I should have done this already. And why am I thinking? Like, then my body is going to reflect the speed of all of that. So my muscles will be, although I may feel like they're relaxed and still technically, they still may be contracted muscularly, right? My hormone system, although I'm being still, if my mind is a racing, then my hormone and endocrine system and my nervous system, it's like, okay, we're still going to work too, okay? But the body's not running this off. The body's not working this out, Stillness of the mind. It's very interesting. Kimberly says, my energy is medium today, so I was intentional in being still this morning. It didn't come to me like I had expected. My thoughts were persisting, medium speed today. So I moved to a different location in my home. Again, didn't meet expectation. I realize now that I should remove expectations about being still. And I'm grateful for the moments to be still, successful or not. Yes, that is such a beautiful awareness and reflection and share. Thank you for sharing that. I feel that very often. Do y'all feel that too? Where it's like, you're like, okay, I'm going to be still today, right? I'm going to take a vacation day. I'm going to take a day off. I'm going to take these 5 minutes to just be still so I can feel refreshed, so I can feel energized, so I can feel clear-headed, right? So that is the so I can is very oftentimes an expectation. So then when I go to be still and I'm really wanting to just go away, I literally just want to get out of my head. And I'm just like, okay, I'm going to be still. I'm in my breath. I'm in meditation. And then like ideas and inspirations come in. And I'm like, oh, apparently the universe had other ideas. I feel that very frequently. I'm glad that you try different locations too. Sarah Catherine shares, my thoughts are a medium speed, steady flow all day. My challenge in quiet meditation is always to find the spaces between the thoughts and allow them to expand. Oh, hello, Cotty. Right? Like, yeah, oftentimes when I am in the speedy mind, right, the thoughts that are just going and going, I'm aware of the thoughts. Well, then can I be as aware of the space between each of those thoughts? It's like when you pause at the top of the inhale, if you've ever held your breath because you had the hiccups. Just that little pause, but that pause between the thoughts and kind of like visiting that place. Not saying that the thoughts are bad, right? Not trying to make them go away, but kind of like rooting into the space between the thoughts and going, wait a minute. Okay, next thought came in. Okay, next thought came in. Oh, this pause is longer. Oh, I'm holding this one. Oh, next thought came in. Then we start to be more practiced at mindfulness, right? Our own mind control. Not like mind control, someone else outside is telling me what to do and telling me what to think, but like I want to control my mind. I am the controller of my mind. Mind control is a good thing if you're the autonomous controller. Yeah, mind speed. The speed of our minds. I mean, y'all think about this. Every single experience you've ever like lived or had or witnessed, like you had a million points of data coming flying at you, and your brain is storing all of that. So your brain has files and files and files of everything you've ever been through, seen, experienced, and creating new ones in every now moment. So being able to find these pauses can like kind of like let the old thoughts dissolve and go away if we don't need them anymore. So how's your spirit energy? And then I want to get to like some tools and things, and I want to hear how you all can kind of align and still all of these things. How's your spiritual energy? How's your energy? Do you feel like all your chakras are aligned? Do you feel like you're buoyant and light? Can you feel buoyant and light when your body is still? Can you feel buoyant and light when your mind is racing? I find that if my mind is racing, I am the furthest away from my spiritual nature. When I am constantly in thought, what do I need to do? What did I do? How's it going to look? How's it going to turn out? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? I'm not present. Spirit comes to us. We tap into it. It is us when we are in stillness or in flow, right? But mind, usually when the mind is in flow, we don't notice it. That's when it is being in that space between the thoughts. That's how I see it anyway. So how is your spiritual energy? Is your spiritual energy feeling like, like I may be this river of mud and I am going so slow. My thoughts are just like sticking all over the place. And I am so grateful because now I have an excuse to just not do today. I can just not do today. Right? Yes, Marv shares that his spirit is exuberant. I love that word, exuberant. Such a beautiful, strange sounding word. Exuberant. Sounds also like a cartoon character that would have like a snorkel. If y'all remember those. Mama Jane shares, when I worked in raising kids, my mind was always warp speed. Retirement has allowed me to dramatically slow down my mind. I am acknowledging that I'm yawning. I am so not bored. I did sleep. I don't know. And I haven't yawned all day, and it seems to be when I'm hopping online. Lay Malata. And then she shares that her spiritual energy is awesome. Good words. Yeah, when you have so much on your plate, if you notice that your mind is going, 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 look at all that is on your plate. Can you take some of these things off? You may not be able to take your job off the plate or your children off the plate, but maybe you can ask someone to tend to some of these things on your plate too, so that your mind can take a break. Because if your mind is always going, you're doing more damage to your body than not. And it can tell, because then she shares that retirement, right, not having all of those things on the plate, that her mind is now slower. It's like, okay. And spiritual energy can be higher because you got time to feel it. You got time to feel good. You get time to feel present. You get time to live in that space between that Sarah Catherine mentioned. And Charles shares, the mind fluctuates so much. Sometimes it's a struggle to remember to breathe. The spirit is good after Saturday's adventure. Dude, hiking, adventuring on weekends, or just adventuring in general. Being able to look back at the stuff we did do with like that sense of accomplishment. Like, I did the thing, whether it was like I took the day off, or I took the day to hike, or I took the day to play, I took the day to be with people. When we remember those times like that, like I took the day to do the thing, or I took the day to not do the thing, we create more dopamine in our body. As opposed to, I had a really good time. How am I going to do it again? How am I going to schedule that time off to do this time again? How am I going to plan this again? I don't know if I can afford it again, right? Then we're not thinking about how great the experience was. Now we're dropping down our energy field. Our spiritual energy is going, and we're not breathing, further detaching us from the spiritual nature of us. It is sometimes a struggle to remember to breathe. We just take a deep breath in together and let it go. Sarah Catherine shares, this full moon was a great symbol of how my spirit is doing. Ooh, feeling full, shiny and bright, able to see the gifts clearly and have gratitude for all that I've manifested this year. That is a good feeling. Yes. Hello, dopamine hits. Man, that right there, that is like dopamine. If I'm too concerned about what I don't know, I'm going to be in stress mode and anxiety mode. But y'all think about, right, this is back to mind control. You can think about all the things that you have done, have accomplished, have moved through, have grown from. Then your mind starts to sit in that space of presence and gratitude that Ariel mentioned earlier. And when your mind is in that space of presence and gratitude, your body's like, okay, I follow suit. Our body is very interesting the way it works with the mind. Kimberly says, my spirit is floating in bliss. I can access my spiritualness when I consciously quiet my mind. Yes, being still in the mind. Being still in the mind. Here in a moment, I'm going to do a little mind stilling activity. So y'all can tell me how that feels. When my mind isn't racing, my spirit feels better. I feel my spirit. I feel presence. I feel the I am of me. I feel the I am, the I am presence. Mars says, I try to feel with my spirit because it's wiser than any other part of me. Yes, dude, that is so true. That is so true. And you know what? If we as a collective, like species, felt with our spirit, acknowledging that it really is wiser than any other part of us, then we would remember that we have to shut up the mind a little bit, like turn that volume down to hear what our spirit is telling us, where our spirit is guiding us. Um, Oftentimes I have ignored what my body is saying when it's in pain and discomfort because I'm like, I don't have time for that. I don't have time. I don't have time to be in pain right now. So I'll do the yoga. My body feels better. Do the day, get home and be like, okay, I'll stretch out a little bit more and I'll just have to go to bed a little bit early. Like I'll ignore a lot of those messages that my body is saying. And in doing so, I feel like then I'm telling myself, my body, my mind, and my spirit that it doesn't deserve to be honored, listened to, acknowledged, served, healed, supported. So thinking about different ways that we can create an environment for stillness. This environment could be the outside of you environment, right? Like sometimes I wonder if I'm yawning so that I can just be still for a moment. Maybe. So yeah, I'm at the school today. I can hear the kids outside. They're playing, they're laughing, having a good time in the mud, right? Because they're kids and they like that. I probably would like it more if I didn't do laundry. Yeah. Anyway. So if I were out there right now, there's no stillness. No one would be able to hear me. I wouldn't be able to read what you all are saying. I wouldn't be able to focus. I would be so distracted. I would be like, wait, what? Right? So the environment of stillness that I chose to be in is an office. So I come here to the office. So I choose that environment for stillness for my body. Yes, Mar says love, bliss, and happiness come from the spirit, right? When we allow that to filter into the mind and the body, that's an experience. When I let my spiritual love, bliss, and joy feel for my body those things, and feel for my thoughts those things, and feel for my emotions those things. If I can feel love, bliss, and joy when I'm feeling anger, grief, or withdrawal, or whatever, I'm creating more stillness. For sure. Big for sure. Big for sure. So how do you create an environment for stillness? Kimberly shared this morning that, she went to one room, tried the stillness, didn't work. Something wasn't aligning in that space, right? Could have been her mind space or the physical space. So she changed the physical space, And then afterwards she realized it was the mind space because she had expectations, right? Profound. So what environment brings you stillness? One of the environments, and someone mentioned it on here, I'm gonna need to get a drink of water, y'all. One of the environments that I find stillness is my breath. This jar looks huge when I drink out of it. Anyway, agua. But my breath, man, like when I'm breathing, and that's the only thing I'm thinking about and focusing on, stillness. I don't care where I am. I could be in the middle of like a packed subway station. If I am just focusing on my breathing, I feel peaceful. I feel calm. I feel good. I feel the stillness. And I couldn't even tell you what's going on. And yet I'm hyper aware and know every single thing that's going on around me. And not because I'm paying it mind, but I'm allowing my mind to be still and focused on something present like my breath. Charles says there was a time when I found the stillness by jumping on the bike and heading into the country. Yeah, yes, that's a really fun way to create stillness. Getting on a bike, motorcyclized bike, motorized or motorcycle or motorcyclized, because that's a thing. Anyway, getting on a bike, getting the fresh air, getting out, out into nature and feeling the wind in your hair and on your skin, right? That's fun. It's fun and it's stillness. I love that. I love that you shared that. Kimber says, yes, breath, movement, and grounding. Yes, yes. It was before, I don't know, the weather was nice one day and we had a big rainstorm and I went outside and like meditated and connected and grounded in on the earth and in the rain. And I thought it was going to just like super energize me. Zing! And it was interesting because it energized me in a place of stillness. It energized stillness, if that makes sense. It's kind of like if I spend a day like swimming in the ocean or whatever. That's funny. I just scratched my nose, but you couldn't tell. It just looked like I went like that. Put my little thumb. Anyway, um, if I swim in the ocean all day or whatever, if I'm swimming all day and I'm active and I'm moving and I'm having a good time and I feel relaxed, nothing's stressing me out. I can't think of anything other than like hopefully nothing bites my toes off. Don't want to drown, but man, the sun feels good or whatever. And then when I go back in for the night, ooh, I crash out because I was energizing stillness, right? I was preparing my body. It's kind of like, the stillness, Charles, that I believe is talking about, it's not physical stillness, right? Maybe it was stillness of the mind, but still really focused. When you're driving a motorcycle, you got to be really focused. You've got a lot of stuff going on around you that you really need to be aware of and be focused on. For real. You can't just be like like looking out the not their window. You can, but I would not encourage, and I don't want to drive my car around you. And I wouldn't want to ride with you if that's how you ride a bike. So it's like there's so many of the extraneous thoughts of the day to day, the traumas, the dramas, the need tos and the shoulds and the schedule and the planning. That's the daily grind. The daily grind is going to be there. We are cogs in this thing called life. We're also, conscious creators of whole new cogs. I think that letting our mind be still from that continual like hamster wheel is where all the magic happens. That's when stillness comes in for real. So I, again, find a lot of my environment for stillness is through breath. So, y'all want to do some breath work? You want to do some breathing with me? We're going to do this for a couple of minutes. I was going to like set a timer, but maybe I'll just look at the time. Okay. I'll just look at the time. I'm going to set a timer. So let's do some breathing and just, yeah, okay, let's do this. Y'all want to do this with me? Let's do this. Okay, so wherever you are, start to just get comfortable. If wherever you are, you thought you were comfortable, set that comfort up a notch. Settle into yourself just a little bit more. Perhaps you sit more comfortably in the seat you're in. Maybe your shoulders just become a little heavy and they relax a little bit more. Maybe your jaw relaxes just a little bit. Maybe you let go and your stomach softens. Maybe your thighs begin to soften and your glutes unclench. And you start to feel your physical body in its stillness. Oftentimes we want to fidget, move, readjust. For the next couple of moments, can you find absolute stillness in your body? Just being still. Not turning your head to see what's happening over there. Maybe closing your eyes, maybe softening your eye gaze, maybe keeping them open and fixed on an object, the screen, your hands. But let your body become still. It's like the game of freeze tag, but in a comfortable position. Now you start to feel your breath flowing in and out. You feel the way your lungs and your belly expands, and the way everything collapses and relaxes as you exhale. You just feel the way the air moves in and out of your body. Maybe you lengthen the time it takes for your inhales to fully enter your body. Maybe your exhales are getting a little longer as well. Perhaps after you reach the top of your inhale, you briefly pause and you hold that suspended breath. And then you exhale and everything softens even more in the stillness. And you retain that exhale at the bottom. And you feel that suspension of emptiness. And when you inhale, you take a bigger, longer breath. And you pause at the top, feeling the fullness and suspension. And when you exhale, you feel stillness settling into your bones. And you pause on the bottom of the exhale. Your timing whenever you breathe in. And you keep this breathing with awareness going. You still feel the ins and the outs and the pauses. And now you begin to feel your skin. You feel perhaps the way your hair is on the top of your head. Maybe you feel the way your shirt is weighing on you. Maybe you feel your waistband around you. Maybe you feel the pressure of your socks on your feet. But you feel your skin. And now you begin to feel the area right outside of your skin. And you notice that you can't really feel much of a difference between your body, your skin, and the air around it. You feel a sense of your outermost boundaried layer of you, becoming more still to feel this. Maybe you don't feel the rise and fall of your chest anymore. Maybe that has almost stilled as well. Your mind is just going to the inhales and the exhales. And the focus is on the way your skin feels. Do you feel the skin on your face? Do you feel the skin on your throat? Do you feel the skin on the backs of your hands? You know it's there. You feel still. You are being still. You invite stillness to come into the mind, remembering that now is where you are, this breath, this body, and this connection to the spirit that you are. You take a full breath in. You feel everything expand, pressing the outer boundaries of you further into your space that you're in. And you take a big sigh out. So you start to hear the sound that you make. You take another big breath in and just let this breath go. And you are able to sit in stillness for however long that felt. Maybe it felt like you were in stillness for a brief moment. Maybe you dropped in and you think that we were in that stillness for 20 minutes. But that stillness is always available. That stillness of just pausing, letting the mind focus on you, not in a need to, got to, should kind of way, but in a, this is my breath and it's flowing. I can feel my feet on the earth. I'm grounded. I can feel my heart beating. I can feel my spirit. I deserve to feel the stillness in my body, in my mind, and my spirit. Affirmations. I like them. Reminders. That's what I call them. So give yourself some stillness. Maybe those of us who are having a low energy day, or maybe it's a low body energy and a high mind energy day. Maybe these are signs to find a new form of stillness. Maybe that stillness means that you take a walk around the block to clear your mind. Maybe that stillness means you lay down for meditation. Maybe the stillness means that you read or write a book. Explore different places of stillness and be with your breath. Let it feel still in its movement. That's my encouragement. Wasn't it good, Sarah Catherine? I feel better now. I think I needed that. So hopefully you all feel more still in some realm in a positive way. And hopefully you keep enjoying this day, whatever you do or whatever you don't do. Hopefully you keep breathing, whatever you do, keep breathing. And know how loved you are, know how appreciated you are, and know how worthy you are of being still, and that it's okay. You can be still. So I love you all so much. I love you too, Marv. And thank you so much for being here. Stay tuned to all the Promise Resource Network goodness. And I will be on here tomorrow night at 6 for expansions. And we will be talking about stillness and non-attachment. It's always a fun one. All right. I love you all. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Bye, y'all.